A man who murdered his 7 months pregnant secret girlfriend last year in an honour killing has been jailed for life. Saga Forsgren Elneborg, who was 20, was found strangled to death at her home in the city of Örebro in Sweden in a case that shocked the Scandinavian country. Prosecutors claimed that her 22-year-old boyfriend, Mohammed Amin Abdirizik Ibrahim, decided to murder her rather than face the shame of telling his family that his girlfriend was expecting a baby out of wedlock. His family didn't know about his girlfriend or the pregnancy. The prosecution alleged that on the night Ibrahim was due to tell his family about Saga's pregnancy, he went to her flat and strangled her to death by wrapping the cord of her lamp around her neck. Ibrahim, meanwhile, refused to acknowledge his actions and instead tried to pin the death on a gangland killing, claiming criminals had burst into the apartment and killed her to take money he had stashed there. But his alibi fell apart under scrutiny, and the judge and jury in the Örebro district court agreed with prosecutors, announcing this morning that Ibrahim will face life in prison. It's also transpired during the court proceedings that Ibrahim had frequently met other women during his relationship with Saga and had largely refused to assume any responsibilities as a would-be father. Prosecutors set forth evidence that Ibrahim had routinely promised he would move in with Saga after finding out about her pregnancy, yet never agreed to even spend one whole night with her. The prosecutor said that he had shown through robust evidence that the 22-year-old murdered his pregnant girlfriend and that the fetus in the stomach died. The prosecutor has also shown that the murder was honour-related, which the district court considers to be the aggravating assessments of the penalty value. During the trial, Ibrahim insisted that Saga was killed by criminals who forced their way into the apartment, purportedly to steal a bag of cash he'd stashed there, but the prosecutors completely refuted the claims, arguing there's no evidence of any forced entry at the property. The alibi presented by Ibrahim was quickly proven false. The killer reportedly claimed he was out driving with a friend at the time of the murder, but prosecutors showed that he did not use his phone for a 90-minute time period around the incidents. In the meantime, the friend in question was on a phone call with another person and refused to testify in Ibrahim's defense. Ibrahim's lawyer told Swedish media that his client would appeal the sentence because he feels he has been wrongly convicted. He said, "My client believes that the verdict, regardless of the reasons of the verdict, is completely wrong, and we have therefore immediately submitted an appeal." Lawyers representing Saga's family said they were relieved at the conviction and that it was a life sentence, describing the verdict as fair. Saga's mother told investigators in a police interview that she was the one to find her daughter lying dead in her apartment. Her mother spoke to police in a series of interviews in 2023, the first being on April the 29th, the day after Saga is believed to have been murdered. In the interviews, she recounted how she met up with some of her friends at a deli, with her daughter also joining one. That day, she said, Saga was nervous because she knew that Ibrahim, who Saga called Amin, planned on telling his parents that he was going to be a father. She told police that Amin had largely kept his relationship with Saga a secret from his family because they were devout in their religion. The mother said that she had only met Amin around 3 times despite her daughter being 7 months pregnant with his baby at the time of her death. Saga's mother said her daughter was nervous while waiting for the news, but had a good time at the deli chatting with her friends. She also recalled how Saga repeatedly checked her phone throughout the meeting. She told the investigating officer that Amin planned to tell his mother when she got home later that night, as she finished work at around 10 o'clock, and while Saga was still waiting for the news, her mother and her friends went on to another establishment in town, but Saga decided to go home back to her apartment to wait for a boyfriend there. The mother and daughter said their goodbyes, and the mother told interviewers that she and her friends wished Saga good luck, knowing that that was the last time they would ever see her alive. The next day, she told police that she went over to her daughter's apartment to pick some more of her things, and she told police that she had been living with the daughter on and off to help her during her pregnancy, but had left for a couple of nights, the Thursday and Friday, so that Amin could stay over and give them privacy. When she arrived at the apartment on the Saturday, she was on the phone to her other daughter and Saga's older sister. She first rang the doorbell just in case Amin was running around naked in there, she told police, but received no answer. She said after not receiving an answer, she got irritated and shouted through the letterbox, and again there was no answer. Instead, she said she used her key to enter the building, but to her surprise found that the door to the apartment was already unlocked. She goes, "I'm just thinking, what the hell are they doing in there? Because She always locks the door, always, even if she only goes down to the basement, to the laundry room, or down the stairs to collect the mail. She always locks, always. The mother then started to look through the apartment, finding a knife sitting on top of a moving box in the hallway and the tap in the kitchen gushing water. She went in and said hello, hello. Moments later, she saw her daughter lying there. She said she found her body covered the tabletop of a square marble table, something that was pictured in photographs of a crime scene. She said that her long black hair was covering her face. She said that's when it just kind of, everything just goes so fast. She goes, I'm shouting at my other daughter on the phone, she's dead, she's dead. They have murdered Saga. And I just panicked all over when you see a child like that. She said, recalling how she moved the table to check if she was still alive. And then she goes, I sort of seen a lamp cord around her neck, and the lamp is next to her on the right hand side. And I started screaming down the phone, and I told my daughter to call emergency services, and I decided to call the emergency services myself. So prosecutors charged Amin with murder, and he was convicted and sentenced to life in prison. The prosecutor stated Mohammed Damin Abdi Razak Ibrahim has killed Saga Forsgren Elneborg by suffocating and strangling her by means of pressure on her neck with an impact on the trachea and the blood supply to the head. Shadid Amin that the murder took place in an honour context because the man wanted to preserve or restore his family and his family's honour by killing the woman who was carrying his child out of wedlock. She said Ibrahim told her he would tell his relatives about the relationship and baby on April the 28th, the night of Saga's murder. It feels like I can almost feel my heartbeat all the way down to my stomach. So guys, I just want to say rest in peace to the victim. Our condolences go out to your family. And guys, in this next news story, a further 3 arrests have been made in connection with the suspected murder of a father of 3 who was shot outside a gym. Lenny Scott, who's 33 years old, died in hospital after the shooting in Skelmersdale on the 8th of February. Lancashire police have said that 2 men, aged 28 and 34, had been arrested on suspicion of murder, while a 29-year-old woman was held on suspicion of assisting an offender. 5 arrests have previously been made in connection with Mr. Scott's death. The 2 men had earlier previously been arrested in connection with the investigation, and both suspects and the 29-year-old are from Liverpool. In March, the 30-year-old Liverpool man was held on suspicion of conspiracy to commit murder, while 3 men and a woman were also previously arrested on suspicion of murder. 2 of the men, aged 25 and 34, were arrested on suspicion of murder, and all those previously arrested were later released on bail. Lancashire police have previously said Mr. Scott was targeted in an abhorrent assassination. It's believed that the gunman fled to the scene on an e-bike heading towards Digmore in Skelmersdale before going to Up Holland. So guys, there's a couple of news stories coming in. Once again, if you already haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel. Please give this video a little like, as help with the algorithms, and promote it for others to view as well. It's your boy GC. Keep it locked, keep it real.